Hello, instructor and instructor assistants. Today, this is going to be a training video going over the Teams tab. And this is going to be where your instructor assistants will be handling essentially all admin type tasks, assigning content, adding new employees, and all things instructor assistant. If you are wondering what instructor and instructor assistant mean, let's start there. I will put a link specific to this article below this video so you can check it out. But the main points to this is an instructor has essentially the highest level. They can add, remove, assign, make any changes to their actual system. Instructor assistant, they are able to pull reports, see how their team's doing, but they are restricted on some of the functionality that they can have. So please see that article to get the full scoop on what instructor assistants can and can't do. Now let's go ahead and dive into that Teams tab. So from your dashboard, you're going to find that Teams tab right along the top. And if you are an instructor and instructor assistants, you would see that Team tab. None of your learners would see that. When you hit the Teams tab, it will do one of two things. If you have just one group made, and that would be your parent group, it will drop you right into your team dashboard. If you have subgroups, when you hit Teams, the first thing that you will see then is the listing of your parent group with your subgroups. All right, so let's dive in. So I'm going to go ahead. I entered into my parent group here for the example today, and you'll see once you click into that group, the first thing that you will be put onto is your Teams dashboard here, okay? This is where you will get a quick recap of kind of your top users. You have ability if you wanted to add in your subgroups to kind of see everything here, you can filter that. If I wanted to just look to see what's happened this week, I can filter that way as well. So this is going to give you just kind of a quick snapshot of what is happening. Now, you'll notice here, this is also would be where if you wanted to add new subgroups, you can go ahead and click on the add subgroups, and maybe it's a different location. So you can do location 1 and hit add. And that's how you would add any subgrouping to really organize your platform. You'll also notice that there is a leaderboard enable button here that you can click on and off. What this means is that if you prefer, a lot of people like to use this for a gamification piece, but if you want and you enable that, when you go on your dashboard, you and your learners will see this weekly leaderboard. So it kind of helps give some of that competitive feel and add some excitement. So we have a lot of people that will use that, provide different kind of incentives based off points. All right, so let's go ahead and let's continue along here. We'll now go into our Teams tab. So this will be the place that we can do a bulk upload of employees. We can add manually, we can filter, we can dive into a specific user, we can change passwords. So this is going to be where most of your admin type functionality will happen. You have essentially a couple different ways in which you can add employees. You can add them manually just by adding first name, last name, and their email address. Now, if they are just a learner, you will not worry about selecting the admin role, okay? You'll just go ahead and keep it as is, and you'll hit add. If it's someone that you're wanting to have instructor or instructor assistant roles, here's where you would pick that role specific to them. But if you forget to do it here, I will show you exactly where you can change it on if you've already added them. Now, I will also note when you add someone manually here, what happens is the minute that you add them, it's going to trigger an email to be sent to the email that you provided. And it will basically say, verify your email and set up your password. The second way that you can upload users is with a bulk CSV upload. And if you click this upload CSV, it will tell you the different requirements and what's optional in here. You'll also see here, I'm pulling up kind of the template that I have saved. So first name, last name, email are going to be required. You can add in location, job title. If you want to put in the user role, this is where you would put that instructor and instructor assistant, and it will explain it more as well in here when you click this. When you're ready and you have that saved, you'll just choose your file and hit next, and it will do that bulk upload. Now, one thing to note, if you're new with Excel forms, when you go to save your document to do the upload, just make sure that that's right here in this little drop down that it's saved as CSV, comma delimited version. This, otherwise, if you just have it saved as a blank Excel, it will not do the upload. The other thing to note is if you're wanting to get your members in before you do your launch and you are wanting to avoid a trigger of an email when you add in an employee, the best way to do that would be to use your CSV and adding in a temp password. So let's just say I was going to do a bulk upload for all of our employees. I might choose something like Interplay, ABC, or whatnot. You want to make sure that that password is at least 6 characters long. Also, within your Teams tab, you can move members to different groups and you can do some filtering from that parent group. So if I was looking for someone specifically, I can also type in that name. And let's just say I wanted to move Mitchell and Long into a different subgroup that was maybe for a different location. I can select multiple users here, hit move, and then I can click the correct subgroup that I want to go into. I can also use that feature if I were looking to do a removal as well. Moving on, you will notice a little tool icon here. This will allow you to customize what you're wanting to see or change what you're seeing. You can just click that toolbox and click anything that you prefer to be showing and hit save. Underneath that, you will notice a little pencil box. If you click this, this is one place where I said in the future, if you add a member and you want to change them to an instructor, instructor assistant, this is where you can do so. So if I was looking to change Mitchell's access to an instructor, I can change that role here. Another frequently used feature in this field is the reset password. So you can click here to resend that, set up your password email, or you can input a temporary password for them and then instruct them when they log in to go into their profile and change their password. All right, now let's dive in deeper to a specific user's detailed performance. In your list, if you're wanting to see how a specific learner has performed in a certain course, or just even to get a kind of overview of how someone has performed, you can go ahead and just click right on them. That's going to bring up and show you their total points, give you kind of a breakdown of what they've been doing through the week. And if you scroll down, you can see different courses that they've completed. If they've been assigned and they're overdue, I can see them in red. But this will give you kind of a general overview of this specific user. If I want to see how they performed in one, I can hit the progress button here and it's going to show me exactly how they've answered. So you can see here in some of the knowledge checks that it took him 3 times to get here. If I wanted to click on the 60%, I can click here and I can see that this is the question that this user got wrong. You also have the ability to download that information here as well. As well in here, another popular spot will be the assessments tab. Now, if you choose to have your employees take any of our assessments, you can see here exactly how they scored out on that assessment. And you can see exactly what it's recommending them to take and assign any of those results from there, assign the assessment to them, and assign the courses that they have recommended. All right, let's jump into the command center now, move along at our top tabs. Here is where you will be able to assign content, review those assignments, and also to create your own custom learning path. So click on the assign content. Here's where you can use all different types of filters. And once you have started to build out custom learning paths, you will see custom learning paths available here as well. You can filter by all courses. You can search courses. For the sake of this, I'm just going to pick a couple to show exactly how this works. So you'll pick the courses or learning path that you're looking to assign. You're going to scroll down to the bottom and you hit next. Now, this is where you can assign to specific users. You can assign to groups of users. So if I wanted to assign to a subgroup fully, I can then filter that way as well. I can include my subgroups in the user as well. And if I wanted to just assign to specific users. So we'll just say I'm going to assign it to a couple users here. Then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, hit my next step. It automatically will default for you for a week out, but you can pick whatever default you want to do for assignments. So pick that date. You'll hit next step, and this is where you'll review the content that you will be assigning and to who. And once you click assign, they will then receive an email letting them know that they have been assigned something and they can click on to go in to complete that. They also will then see these on their dashboard. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll go to review assignments. This is a great place to go if you're just wanting to get a general overview of how things are going with things that you've assigned. Again, you can filter for whatever groups you want. Let's just say I wanted to see who's all overdue in assignments that I have assigned. So I will just filter that and you can see exactly where they are at in their status. I can click on it and I can see that this course hasn't even been started. So we'll also give you kind of a progress meter on where they are in that course. So I'm going to click back to Command Center here. Now the custom learning paths, this is where you can get really creative. This allows you to create a custom learning path specific using external links, a mix of our courses. So you'll see here, I've created quite a few different learning paths within our system. You can create a learning path that is just focusing on our courses, or you can create one that has straight external links. So you'll notice here, I had created one specific that had links out to a video and a PowerPoint that I did on the Command Center when it first launched. And you can see exactly what links those take you to. You can also see I did another example here showing how you can intertwine courses in there. So let's just say this was an example for a new hire. Maybe I'm putting the new hire orientation booklet here, and then I want them to start some basic safety courses, and I want to add in some more of my own external links. It really gives you that option to customize all of your stuff and have it in one place. Moving on, let's go ahead and let's move into reports. So there are a multitude of different reports that you can run from within our system. When you click Create Reports, this will offer you a selection of different reports that you can pull. If you want to go ahead and click down, you'll hit Download Member List, and you can include subgroups. You can include just your current group. Gives you some options of different things you might want to add into your reporting, and you can select a time period as well. You can go ahead and add a name to this list to this reporting if you would like, in which time then you can schedule that report. So maybe you want that report to be sent to you on a certain time frame. There's also an article that goes really into depth on exactly what the reports offer and the information that you are getting from there. Lastly is the team settings, and this really just helps to customize how we suggest due dates for you. So if you want to put some limitations around hours that a learner would learn each week, you can do so here. You can also select different busy seasons and whatnot. And there's also an article that goes way more in depth and shows some examples of how this works as well in the Help Center. I hope you enjoyed this instructor training video. Please let your customer success manager or account manager know if you need any support, and happy training.